Good afternoon. Michael Mazarang here again, and today we're up in Banner Elk in North Carolina looking at one of our existing installations, and today we're going to talk about an Atmox system. An Atmox system is a controlled ventilation system that regulates the ventilation of the crawl space of the structure. As you can see, this house is rather large, around 4,000 square feet, and has multiple compartments. When we got the call from the customer that owns the home, we were informed that there was an odor and smell issue with the crawl space, and we were asked to investigate. As you can see here on the back side of the house, we have a section here of the crawl space that's a stand-up crawl space. And as we discovered, we investigated the crawl space, this house has been encapsulated by a prior homeowner. This liner, which is a 20 mil liner, was installed with a full encapsulation protocol. All of the vents were closed, and all this material was spread out and taped down over the crawl space soils. And you can see the crawl space piers were wrapped, and the material has also been mechanically fastened to the foundation wall. So this was a closed system. So what we did is we retrofitted this sealed system to a controlled ventilated system. We were actually able to rescue one of the dehumidifiers and properly place it here in the crawl space, and also deactivated this dehumidifier, which was tied in to the existing HVAC system. I don't quite understand why that was done. Kind of a fallacy in the installation. A dehumidifier does not have enough drying power or blowing power to affect an HVAC system. So this encapsulation company trying to use this dehumidifier to condition air in the crawl space doesn't make any sense. So we're working with a HVAC contractor to disconnect all this equipment and to cap off this main trunk line to restore its integrity. And the unit's been switched off. All it was doing was just causing a power spike and provided no practical purpose. So you can see where these encapsulation companies just don't know what they're doing. But you know, the thick liner, this liner is 20 mil thick, and it off gases a certain amount of odor into the crawl space environment, combined with the other construction materials in the crawl space. And so now we've installed a louvered Atmox system to retrofit this sealed system to allow fresh air to get into the crawl space environment, to get rid of that cat urine odor smell that the client was reporting. So we have two pipe fan intakes. As you can see, the louvers work when the fans fire, and then when the fans turn off, these louvers close, making it a closed system. And here is a picture of the intake fan. As you can see, it's running. The pipe fan you can see on the other side of the screen here. This is intake 1. And our second intake is up there, as you can see. So we have two of those here in this main crawl space. Since this house is 4,000 square feet, we have 3 crawl space compartments. And so we need a series of dead corner fans and pipe fans, as you see here, to be able to move, whether it's conditioned air coming from the dehumidifier or if it's fresh air coming from the outside into this environment. You have to have a way to move the air to those dead corners. This pipe fan here is moving air through this 25-foot duct kit to the other side of the crawl space where most of the smells were being reported. This particular pipe fan is moving conditioned air to our third crawl space section, which is on the other side of that foundation wall. And we'll go over there in a minute for you to see that. But think about there's no way for a dehumidifier to be able to condition air on the far side of a crawl space, as tight as it is, without help from these extra fans. When I first looked at this account, the wood moisture content was 25% on the other side of this crawl space. So as you can see here, this system was designed with this dead corner fan here to move air to all the dead pockets, as well as getting this stale, smelly air out of the crawl space environment through our exhaust fans, which are in compartment number 3, which we'll get to next. And as you can see, this is a good, nice commercial dehumidifier, but there's absolutely no need to run this dehumidifier 24/7, none whatsoever. All it does is use a lot of excess energy, and it'll just blow up the unit in time. So the Atmox system is designed to run this particular piece of equipment from a point of dew point, from a factor of dew point. And as you can see here, we've retrofitted the dehumidifier with this relay kit, so that the relay kit now ties that dehumidifier into the Atmox controller, which we'll see here in a minute. Now we're here at the other side of the house, at the 3rd crawl space area. And you can see here, this is the Atmox controller, which we'll go into here in a second. The pipe fan that we showed you in the other crawl space, the main crawl space area, is right here. This is the other side of that duct kit, and you can see the conditioned or fresh air comes from the main crawl space into this secondary crawl space to our 2 pipe fan exhaust ports. And these move 240 CFM, so not a terrible amount of air, but enough to get the job done. And of course the liner applies the same function. We just got to get rid of the smell. So you can see here, this fan is an exhaust fan as well, and the louvers on the other side open and close as these fans go from active to inactive status. And you can see here the exterior exhaust fans. And this is the exterior sensor package that's constantly reading data, weather data, and sending it back to the controller that's back in the house. So as you can see, the louvered system combined with the effectiveness of dew point control will regulate the airflow into this particular crawl space environment quite nicely, and make sure all 3 compartments have the same moisture reading if I were to take random moisture readings today. The Atmox controller, the software inside it is what operates the entire system. The 2 sensors that are programmed into the unit, we have one inside the house and one outside the house, is constantly calculating dew point. And you can see here the outside dew point, the interior dew point. You can show temperature, relative humidity, dew point. All these things are available at your fingertips by using these controls, and you can see what exactly the conditions are in the crawl space and outside of the house at all times. So without the dew point fired sensor package and this computer system that controls the fans and the dehumidifier, this would not be possible. So now, a month later, the customer has no more odors. They have no more smells. The moisture levels are in control, under control, without the use of the expensive dehumidifier except as a backup program, and it's all done by this controller. So certainly you can see the challenges of an encapsulation when you have a large home like this with multiple compartments. The only way that you can make an encapsulation efficient is to move the air. And also, the only way you can get rid of smell is to actually engage the outside air once in a while to get some fresh air into this environment. So anyways, we appreciate you joining us today to talk about controlled ventilation, Atmox systems, encapsulations. If you have any questions about liners, plastic liners, these types of products, there are many products available that you can get. Some of them smell more than others, but certainly, no matter what you use, the only way you can get rid of odors and smells in a large crawl space environment like this is to ventilate. So, if you have any questions about ventilation, in reference to encapsulation or controlled ventilation, you can certainly give us a call, and we look forward to talking to you more. Hope you have a good rest of the day. Thank you for joining us. Take care.